from church ministry to real estate. I don't believe in religion because
Why do you need the church? Why do you feel like that is an important part?
community. When they join real estate, the only thing that they think is money.
That's not really the key to a lasting, successful, robust real estate.
How many times have we told clients not to buy a house because we have seen the other part?
Teach a man to fish, right?
Exactly.
Welcome to episode 4 of The Balanced Broker. I am Sarah Faki and I have my co-host, Nadia Sahi. And we are here with our dear, sweet agent. He is one of our best kick-ass agents. He sells a lot of real estate, but at the same time, he's one of our favorite people in the world because he is an absolute sweetheart. He's one of the best, the brother that we never knew, that we always needed, always wanted. Our little brother from another mother, Dani Tac. He is Pastor Dani Tac, to be correct. He is an amazing guy. We're going to talk a little bit about faith in real estate, family in real estate, and the importance of being mindful and the importance of believing in God in all that you do and putting God first. Dani Tac.
What's happening? What's happening?
I got some questions for you.
Let's go.
So you're brown.
Clearly.
You're brown?
Clearly.
Brown. What? You're a brown man. And have you ever seen that comedian Russell Peters? When he tells people that his name is Russell, they're like, what is your real name? Because they can't believe that a brown guy would have
Russell, right.
such a American, I guess, or such a Western name. They would like think your name is going to be very basic, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about why your name is Dani Tac and who you are, because I get that question so much. I'm sure you do, Sarah. People are like, who's that other guy on your team? Is he related to you? And it's like, he's kind of like the brother from another mother, but at the same time, he's like the little brother we never wanted. We always
No
we never
wanted?
knew we did want. I know.
We've never wanted.
So anyway, yeah.
No, it's so crazy. So whenever people see my name, Dani Tac, they have a picture of me of someone else. And when they see me, they're like, oh, you're an Indian. How come Dani Tac? And then I tell them the whole story. So my official name is actually not Dani Tac. It's Dani Tac.
That's how you say it. I'm like, Takurai.
It's so, exactly, same thing. I don't want to explain. Mr. Touch-rate, tack-rate, no, it's so hard. So my cousin, my dad from my dad's side, even before Facebook came, I don't know if you guys know Orkut, back in the social media. So his name changed to Dennis Tac. So our whole family was Touch-rate. So he changed his name to Dennis Tac, and all our cousins, aunties, everyone on social medias made it Tac. So it's like Jaya Tac, Bindu Tac, Dani Tac, David Tac. So that became our brand.
But it's so cool.
It's exactly. I'm glad.
And it's not Taki.
It's
Sorry.
no, it was so crazy. But when I moved here,
I know.
Yeah.
We're like West Indian because we're Indian. We can do this. Yeah. Anyways.
But when I moved here, so everyone was like, "What is this tag? Is it tacos?" I was like, "No, it's just my family name, Dani Tac." But the crazy part is when I moved here, I was working on my social security thing, kind of stuff. So when they check my passport, I only have one name. It's Dani Tac. I don't have a first name. So they made it FNU Dani Tac. I know it's news for you, but it's FNU, which means first name unknown.
Oh.
It's so crazy. And I didn't even know what the heck was happening. And everything was FNU. So they used to call me, like from Social Security Administration. They were like, is new here? Is new here? I was like, my name's new. I know.
Like, I mean, FNU.
FNU, but they say new. I was like, no.
Our last name is Faki. And man, growing up, used to get butchered. What? Fucky, freaky. Sarah.
It's so crazy.
Me. I mean, it was bad. We had it bad.
But then I changed it. So that's when I knew there's a lot of people who come from different countries. They have FNU or LNU, which is last name unknown. Which is so stupid. The only thing that they had to do, just call us and ask us our first name.
And then just call it now. We're just going to call
you. FNU, yeah.
So when did you come?
I moved here in 2019. I got married to Janet, my beautiful wife, in 2018, and I moved here 2019 April.
Hey, so real quick, we have to do a quick little shout out to Janet because she is your better half.
Yeah.
I adore that woman. I mean, like total woman crush on her. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay, so my wife's name is Janet Jacob Tac. Legally
Tac.
No, I just changed my name to Dani Tac legally.
Wow.
Yeah, but her name is still Janet Jacob because she just didn't want to work on her certificates or whatever. Her name is Janet Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a therapist. She's my wife, and I have two kids, Hadassah and Joanne. Hadassah is going to be 4 years old, and Joanne is going to be 1 year old next week.
Cutest kids ever. I can't believe he's gonna be
I know it. Time flies. Time flies. That's our family. We've been married for 6 years. 5 years? 6 years. Yeah.
And where did you live?
I was in India, so I did my schooling in Dubai. Then I moved to India. I did my bachelor's and master's in India, and then I moved here. So it's like 13 years in Dubai, 13 years in India, and the rest in US.
What are your degrees in? Real estate?
No, it was business administration.
so business.
Yeah, business administration. Because I always wanted to be in business.
Yeah.
I never thought about real estate, but I always wanted to be in business. My dad was a businessman.
Okay.
So I have seen him work so hard for his business in Dubai, and I always wanted to be a businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my motivation thing, but I've never thought I would do real estate.
You are a businessman,
Uh-huh.
but you also are a rock star.
I heard.
Like
Indian rock star.
Like legit rock star. You can sing. You can play instruments.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, Wait, what instruments can you play? When you like on stage.
A tambourine? I can play a tambourine. That doesn't count.
But I play a little bit of guitar.
No.
Yeah.
Studying like
I just play guitar a little bit.
guitar. I knew
Yeah.
he was musically inclined for sure.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about your music, because I will never forget the first time. I'm like, we've been working together for almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
And I will never forget the first time I saw you on a stage on your Facebook or something, and I was like
Performing.
yeah, I had to get in it because I could not believe that was you. With the
Why do you keep
crowd.
your other life such a secret?
I was nuts.
It's never secret. It's all my Facebook.
Okay, I just looked at it.
No, exactly. Do your research, Sarah, before hiring.
Stalk your teammates.
I didn't know.
Exactly. She doesn't even
I
know.
didn't know that you could sing until the first retreat.
Oh, let's go.
And then we were singing Bollywood songs together.
Exactly.
You guys,
Yeah.
man. You
Yes.
every time we hang out and do like a team event or something.
And I'm like, oh, boy can sing.
That's our bonding time with all the classics. It's crazy.
So music, tell us about that.
Music. So I was in India. I have no singers in my family. I've never went to music school, nothing of that sort. So I was a part of a church, and they wanted me a part of the worship team, like sing. And I was like, I don't even know how to sing. I can just be in the back as a backup singer. It's a crazy part that how I became the worship leader of the church. It's a crazy story. Should I share that?
Yeah. Well, after you tell me about your rock star.
Yeah. So that's how I started singing, but I never thought I could sing. But the crazy part how I became a worship leader was the week that my dad died.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was a part of a huge church, like 6,000 people attending every Sunday. So it was like a huge conference every Sunday. So it's like a concert, right?
Okay.
So
I'm gonna interrupt.
Yeah.
Because we have to talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
I think that we are making an assumption that a lot of people know that there is a huge Christian community.
Yeah.
Can you, before you tell us about how you became the worship leader after your father passed away,
Right.
what are you?
I'm a Christian.
Where are you from?
What do you mean?
Like what region? What do we call your nationality?
Oh, yeah. I'm from India, southern part of India. It's called Kerala. It's a small little state. It's in the part of south, so it's literally at the bottom of India.
Okay.
So that's where we come from. Yeah, it's Malayali. So we are called Malayalis or Malus or whatever, but we are Keralites. Call us Keralites and not Malayalis.
Oh, okay. See, this
Yeah.
is a new thing, like for Sarah and I think we were.
I mean, I knew he was Malu, but
Yeah. But,
See, I'm a Keralite, not Malu.
okay.
That's it.
I didn't even know that the terminology.
Yeah.
But I think we had a client. Sarah actually introduced me to a first client when we were doing real estate, like kind of part time years ago, and it was one of those situations when they had a church call time or something like that, and they were doing like.
you talking about AJ? And then they were like, oh, we know him. He's famous when we found out.
Oh, yeah. AJ, right.
And I was like, I didn't even realize how big this. So how big is the population of
I have no idea.
Kerala?
Yeah.
Kerala?
No.
Do you know?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
No.
usually, because what it is people just take this big brown brush and they just paint it all. Like if you're brown,
Yeah.
if you're Pakistani, doesn't matter. If you're from Southern,
We're all
India,
Desis.
whatever, everybody's just
Exactly.
Desi.
Yeah.
And even us, we're Middle Eastern, half Lebanese.
Right, and then
Nope.
my mom's West Indian, so
Yeah.
it's like, and then my husband's Pakistani.
Right.
It's like, so what
Where are we?
Exactly. Yeah. They don't even know the national. They just call us DCs.
But there's this huge population, and it's a very tight knit population.
It
Here in
is. It
Dallas.
is. No matter exactly.
That's the Christian people from Kerala,
Right.
Malayali.
And the crazy part of India is like we have thousands of languages and cultures. Like it's so
How many
crazy.
languages?
How many,
I don't even know. There's like thousands of languages.
how many languages do you speak?
Kind of 4, I would say. No, 3 or 4.
What's kind of
I know because I don't know half. I just don't.
Yeah, like,
Like maybe 3.5.
so 3.5 languages. You know what this is? The Arabic. I'm like,
Okay, let's.
okay. So yeah, I feel like the bulk of your business, and we are gonna circle back to how
Yeah.
you became a pastor.
Right.
I'm interested in that, but it's
Yeah.
just more interesting to understand who you are, the culture, and why you speak 3.5.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to know like what languages do you speak, and it's the bulk of your business.
Right.
I mean, we are a niche realty group.
Yeah.
We do have our niche.
Yeah.
So tell us, what languages do you speak?
So when I was in Dubai, there was a lot of Hindi population who speaks Hindi. Huge population who speaks Hindi. So
What we assume when we like when I met you,
Yeah.
I'm the one who met.
right, exactly. Yeah, no,
But yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you were just a regular
North Indian. Yeah,
North Indian guy.
Yeah.
You didn't know much about.
exactly. So when I was in Dubai, I used to speak a little bit of Hindi. That's what I was half.
That's the-
half. That's a half.
So you only speak half Hindi?
Yeah, I can speak Hindi, but not to the Hindi people. Not to the Hindi people. Just.
Yeah.
But I can.
You speak Hindi, guys. So
Exactly. Exactly.
oh, chub.
Exactly. So I speak Hindi, Malayalam for sure, and I understand Tamil because Tamil is from Tamil Nadu, which is a neighboring state of Kerala. So it's very similar.
Right.
There's a ton of language like Telugu or Tulu. There's a lot of languages in India.
Yeah.
Like I haven't even heard of.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of languages that I can understand, but the language that I speak is English, Malayalam, Hindi. Yeah.
That's so impressive.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just not only because of your relationship with the church, but the fact that you are from this different part of this huge population.
Exactly.
Okay. You have really just stepped up his real estate game as that guy in the community. Not only are you one of the nicest human beings that I know, but you are a damn good businessman.
Thank you.
And I want to know now more about how you became involved as Pastor Dani.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, Pastor Dani is very new to everyone.
Amazing name to have.
No, that's crazy.
So
So it's very connected to what I'm doing right now as well. So when I was in India, as I told, I wasn't working in a company. I was working with this church for a very long time. It's been since the time that I moved to India, I've been working with this church. And what I really liked about church ministry is when people find joy or happiness or peace, we can see it, right? Because we have ministry in the States. And when people come with these problems and sickness and all this kind of stuff that they're going through, and they get delivered when they have faith in God, and that just drives you to do more in ministry. You don't get a lot of payment when you church ministry. You don't even get paid.
Right.
Because it's not about the money perspective, it's about people perspective. So I could connect that to real estate because real estate is all about people.
Yeah, it is.
So in church, in ministry, when I teach people or when I learn from people, this is what the first thing, if you want to be a church minister or I'm not talking about church, I'm just talking about people in business, the first thing that you have to do is to love people.
Yeah.
If you can't love people, you cannot be in this
Right.
ministry or business. So I took that perspective of ministry to real estate.
Yeah.
So it was so easy for me to transition. I mean, it was crazy when I moved here. I didn't have a church here, right? So I was busy in ministry, traveling to all these cities, countries. And when I moved here, I had no friends, no church, no meetings. And my wife started working. She was going to work 9 to 5 every day. I was literally stuck. And the crazy part, I tried doing IT every day.
Talk about
I know. I tried IT. It was so crazy. Yeah, I know. But it was so crazy because I sat in front of the IT class or whatever on my computer. I was like, I can't do this.
This is so not you.
No, it's not me. I want to
People who don't like people.
exactly. I want. I want to see people. I want to talk to people.
Yeah.
I know. All my clients are IT.
I know, that's okay.
Sorry.
You can be the person who loves them.
Exactly. I mean, they do a great job. It's not for me. I can't do it. So that's how. So I tried IT, and I was like, no, this is not going to work for me.
Yeah.
And then I started real estate. I was like, it's so similar to the thing that I was doing in India. It's like meeting different people, helping them out, giving them guidance of what they should do with their money or whatever it is. Like, what are the first steps? That kind of thing.
Because if you don't like people, for people who are thinking about going into this industry, if you don't like people, listen, you cannot. This is not the business for you.
Exactly.
Must genuinely like people.
No, 100%.
It's funny because in the last podcast, I was talking to my husband, Amr, and he's like, I don't really like people anymore. And that's because he's in the ER.
Yeah.
He's the worst people. And he's like, and I'm like, luckily for me, I really do like people.
Right.
And you need to have that bone in your body that is like interested in, tell me about your life.
Right.
What's going on? Why do you think the way that you think? Why do you need what you need? Why do you think you need what you need?
Yeah.
Let me learn about you. So,
Right.
So you're absolutely right. That people aspect of it is
No, 100%. If you can't love people, because people, when they join real estate, the only thing that they think is money.
Yeah.
Because they see people making money out of real estate. I understand. You can make a lot of money.
Yeah. But how much money do you give away?
Exactly. Why do you give away? Right. Exactly.
Do I give away?
Yeah.
And this is by the way, we don't give away anymore.
No.
No.
It's an NAR settlement. You can't give any more.
I'm just kidding. It depends. We are all for making sure our clients are happy. And at the end
100%.
of the day, a happy client yields more clients. And we want to be fulfilled. Not just happy, but like they're well-being. Fulfilled. They're doing what's, best for their lives and their future.
Exactly. How many times have we told clients not to buy a house because we have seen the other part?
Right. Yeah.
Because if that sale goes through, we get money.
Yeah.
But that's not what our focus is.
Will we be able to put our head on our pillow at night?
Exactly. So that perspective is what really transitioned me from church ministry. I'm still a church minister, but from church ministry to real estate.
Okay, cool. So you tried the IT thing.
Yeah.
And then how did you even get introduced to real estate?
So one of my family friends, Justin Borges, he's an amazing man. If you're watching this, good guy. So he's very successful in real estate. So he wanted to build a team. So I joined him and we started working on a team. So I used to help him with his deals. He taught me how to do real estate because in Champions, they don't even teach you how to open a door. Yeah. So this guy showed me how to open the door, write contracts and everything. I'm still grateful for him. That's how I got into real estate. And then what I understood was like, I had to build my brand. Because when I moved here, I have no friends, right? Because I come from India. I have my family is a very small family. We don't have a lot of relatives here. So it was really hard to build that brand. So through him, I learned how to build my brand. And that's how I got into real estate.
You're so good at it. What a brand. I have to give a shout out to a really good friend of mine. Her name is Faye.
Yay. Yeah.
I work with her at Grand Homes. She's not only one of my closest friends, she's like a little sister to me. And at the time she was working for a builder and she just kept telling me about this hustler who was bringing her contract after contract. And not only was she so impressed by your business acumen and the fact that you had this niche clientele,
right?
She was like, this guy would come with his drone and give clients an update on their properties by actually doing 3D like photos and drones and sending them updates during the build process. She was so impressed by your tech savvy that coupled with your IT paid off, huh? Yeah. So it was so let's kind of like see, people think that they could just make it in real estate,
right?
But it's really a common. So she kept pushing you like on Nadia, right? Yeah.
That was crazy. So I met Faye when she was working with Perry Homes. And then I had a client who was out of state from Minnesota, I believe, and he hadn't even been to Dallas. So he wanted to know about Salina, Prosper, and she was working in a specific office. And I went there, and this guy had no freaking idea about the community or nothing of that. So I used to take drone videos of the whole community to show him whether the main roads are, the grocery, the amenity center, the swimming pool, all this kind of stuff. And then that's how he knew about the community. And then the first time that he came to Dallas was to close on his house when he knew everything. He didn't even see.
Spent 100%. But so it was.
Oh yeah.
It was the combination of his tech savvy, his niche clientele that he kept bringing to sell these lots.
Yeah.
And she just said there was something about you that was just really special.
this, and she kept telling me that. And she's like, and I know you and I know your sister because she's really scared of Sarah's like, everyone's scared of Sarah.
Everyone's scared of Sarah.
And I told
Me
her, I
too.
was like, I'm scared of Sarah. I was like, I don't know. She wants anybody to join the team.
Right.
And so, I manipulated our team, and one day just showed up.
Oh my God! Don't even talk about that.
It's
It's
such
so
an awkward
embarrassing.
situation. And then Sarah came out. She's like, what are you doing? Why is this guy here? And I'm like, no, I hadn't met him a few times, but I left it. It's just, I was burned.
Right.
By
You were
the last
protective.
few people
You were protective. I think you were protective at that
I just
team.
wanted to make sure that we weren't just making decisions on a whim.
And as a leader, I appreciate that because you had to be protective of your team.
I knew there was something special about
Yeah.
it. We went to, where were we at Legacy West?
Mesero.
Macero. We went to Macero. We sat down. We were talking. He was at a split in his office that was just, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was sad. Like, I couldn't believe that they were like, he was worth so much more. And I could feel that, And I felt bad for you. I was like, this really is horrible. He sold X amount of houses with the builder. I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, he already established himself as a productive agent.
Right.
And they
Yeah.
were taking the majority of his commission.
Yeah.
The majority.
Yeah.
Of it. So Sarah's like, I don't want to bring him on the team because I don't want him to get spoiled, because
Right.
usually you join a team and, you pay 50% or whatever, and our splits are very different because Sarah's like, look, I'm not here to hold your hand.
Yeah.
You have to come on this team with a book of
Your
business,
business, right?
and you have to have experience. And I was trying to, tell Sarah, I was like, I think this guy appreciates what commission structures are.
Right. No, absolutely.
He's not greedy. If it's
Right.
what he's making right now is what he's making,
Yeah.
And so that was a really big thing. And for Sarah, like she said, being burnt, people not appreciating the opportunities.
Yeah.
But you came in and we didn't have to worry about feeding.
No, he came in like a tornado.
Yeah.
Brought in a whole different clientele that we appreciated. Yes, appreciated everything. Tech tool, the tech tool,
Yes.
brand,
Yes.
the training,
Yeah.
all of it. Slid right in and just couldn't. The best hire we've ever.
And the
Yeah.
actually,
We've had some really great hires.
yeah,
We're in a great place right now.
we have
But
some really,
as far as the
Right.
agent is concerned,
really, if you
very
think
great.
about it, like I found Tiffany fair and square. Like I stole Tiffany fair and square from a brokerage that it was like a Dani situation. I was like, you're too good and you're underpaid and you would appreciate, well, she didn't appreciate our disorganization, but you would appreciate.
She appreciates it now because she's like, haha, you can't do anything about me.
Exactly. Oh my God. Yes.
And then Sarah, so I got Tiffany and Dani, and Sarah found, took on Eleni after what? She was like, you're going to go run to a neighboring competitive brokerage, and you're going to see what it's like to work for, 1% and run around.
Yeah.
And
This is after a lot of, bumps in the road.
Yep.
Right.
But anyway, let's get back to
Joining a part of the team, right? So if you don't have the right motive of joining a team, because if you are thinking about getting leads from a team, that's not how a team works. Because I've helped, to build a team with the other person, and I knew that you had to build your brand no matter what. Even if you're with Compass or even if you're with a niche team or any other team, you have to build your own brand because you're selling yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You have to build. If you don't build your brand, if you don't make a book of business from your side, you can't survive.
You teach a man to fish, right?
Exactly.
You got to teach a man to fish. No,
Exactly.
absolutely, absolutely right. And people do. I mean, there are a lot of teams that will have that promise, like you are coming on this team because we've got so many leads, we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But that's not really the key to a lasting, successful, robust real estate.
Exactly. It's not that you don't give us leads. I mean, you still. I mean,
So why did you want to join Niche?
Oh yeah, that's the crazy part. So as I said, Keralites, right? There's a lot of agents from our culture as well, from our nationality, and I've seen them doing business. And when I spoke to her, and she was talking about the book of business that you guys had of 90 million and 100 million in the pipeline, I was like, dang, I didn't even know this part of real estate yet.
Yeah.
I want to learn that. I want to know what's on the other side of real estate, because all that I've seen is like, residential or normal, business, which I really appreciate. I still do those kind of business, but I wanted to learn more. And that's how I came to y'all's first meeting.
Yeah, you basically walked into a development meeting too.
Exactly. We went to Louisville.
Yeah.
to see that land deal.
Land. That was the first, and then he was
Yeah.
with us, and it was one of those situations where he was like, "These people are crazy. We're doing all kinds of different
Yeah,
things." And you
yeah.
were really exposed to that
Yeah.
side of real.
Yeah, I wasn't overwhelmed. I was like so excited. I was curious what you guys do.
What was that? We had a $5.2 million, 15 acres,
Yeah,
commercial zoned.
right.
It was just the prospect of learning something new,
New.
and leveling up.
Exactly. Yeah.
The next level of real estate. Okay, so rewind a little bit. I want to learn more about Pastor Dani.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Because I want to understand this obviously, it's a people business, and you have
Right.
to love people in order to do it. And that's one of the reasons why you liked it so much. So you're this lone guy. You don't have a lot of family here,
Yeah.
a lot of friends. How did you find the church, and how did that all?
So there's a lot of churches in Dallas. Dallas is known to be church belt. Like Bible Belt. I'm sorry, Bible Belt. And there's literally every church in every mile. If you say in Richardson or other cities, we have a lot of churches. So I was waiting, because we have church our mother church is in Kerala. So we have around 600 churches all around the world. So we have a lot but we didn't have in Dallas yet.
What's the name of the church?
El Shaddai Ministry. It's a huge name, but it's El Shaddai Ministry. That's a part of our mother church is in Kerala, so we didn't have a church here. So I was like not a part of any churches. So people knew that I led worship in India, and they started inviting me to all these conferences and church meetings. So in that matter, people started to notice, oh, there's some guy called Dani Tac, he leads worship, and I used that as a following to promote my real estate as well. So in social media, I started promoting. So people knew that there was this guy, Dani Tac, he leads worship and does real estate. So people started noticing my brand, and that's how I built my business.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I mean, it's super important, because of the community, right?
Exactly.
The community aspect to build your business, and
Right.
you've got these people who know you, trust you, and all
Right.
of the things.
Yeah. But I
What does
haven't.
he say on all of his posts? Every time he says a post, he has a what do you call
What's
that?
your tag? What's your tag?
Put God first.
Put God.
Good God.
Yeah, that's
So
something.
every
Yeah,
listing, every social media post, anything that Dani puts out there,
yeah.
it says
Put God first. Now that's something so crazy to me. For everything, if it's family or business or friendship or whatever it is, if you don't put God first, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. So that's something that I particularly put in there. It's not about religion or anything of that sort. If you trust in God, everything will come to, senses to you. It'll come to, it'll fall in place. So that's something that I put on all my posts. Because there's something that I follow in my life.
Dani's
Exactly. There's something that I follow. I have a list of items that I follow. First thing is God, for sure. Second is yourself, or myself. Third is family. And fourth is our job. So in American culture, they're so hustle focused. They're so career focused. They put their career above God, above family, and that's when all these problems happen. So this is something that I teach my kids. My family, we put God first, and then yourself. If you're not in the right place, if you don't put yourself first, your health first, you cannot take care of your family,
You
right?
see on the plane, put your
Ask first before you help others.
so true.
Same thing. And then family, and then comes your work. Yeah, so that's the reason why I put God first.
I
Yeah.
love it. I think that's so important, and it really just aligns. Doesn't matter what religion you follow. If you do
Yeah.
believe in God,
Right.
I feel like before when Sarah and I leave our driveway, we say Bismillah ar-Rahman.
Yeah.
So we identify, right?
Right.
Muslims, and we basically, before we do anything, every time I show a house and I put the key in the door and I open the door, you can ask all my clients. I always say, okay, yellow. I walk in the door. It's just, it's just a part of who,
Because you don't know if you'll find a homeless guy sleeping on the floor. Right?
you attract a certain energy, Dani, and you are, the energy that you have whenever you call or whenever we see you, I look at my sister's face, or you can hear the smile in my voice every time.
Yeah.
See,
Very few people in our lives
love you
feel that
so much.
Yeah.
way about.
And we feel so strongly about
Right.
that. I've never had an issue with you, something that we couldn't handle. We call each other when we're like going through drama.
Yeah.
we talk about our crazy deals, or I try to give you help, you help me all the time. And it's this wonderful synergy that we have. And a lot of it has to do because of the type of human being you are. And I mean, I think we make a great team because you're the same. We're all the same type of.
Yeah. I'm not the most religious person, right? I mean, like I said, I identify as Muslim. I feel like if there's one thing that's lacking in my life and that I need to work on is I do need to have more of God in my life. I feel like I'm very spiritual.
Right.
I'm very spiritual, and I definitely I know that there's, a higher being. I believe in Allah. That every single thing that I do and every move that I make, every action has a reaction. And like, I won't even throw a piece of trash on the ground because I'm just like, God is watching, But I don't consider myself super, I'm super like, okay, I watch everything that I do. I'm like super truthful. I always, because I believe in karma to I don't really know what to call it. I don't know how to identify it. But having you around, it's almost like that reminder that I need, to be more mindful and to really put God first, to be more like purpose, meaningful when I
No, will you believe if I said that I'm not religioustic?
That you're not religious?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I partied with you before, and I'm like, oh my God.
No.
We're not going to tell them. No. Like, that you have a fun side. I'm like, that's you, Pastor Dani. But that's something you could still be a fun human being.
So that's what I was trying to say when you said, I'm not a religious person.
Okay.
I don't believe in religion because it's about relationship that you have with your God. Because if you go in religion perspective, there's a lot of things that is wrong and right in all religions.
Yeah.
And you cannot.
That's my problem.
Exactly. So that's the reason why.
This 100%.
Exactly, because you cannot. You're human, right? There's a lot of religions in this world. Okay, what if your religion says this thing and the other religion says the other thing? How are you supposed to be in love, right?
What's right?
Exactly. So I'm not a religious person. I believe in relationship with God, right? Just as you said, you always have the feeling that there's God with us. So that's what I strongly believe, because God is all about relationship. Yeah. He wants to have a relationship with you. It's not that, okay, I have a religion, follow the religion. He never said that.
Yeah.
He loves people.
Right.
God loves people. So I strongly believe in the relationship aspect, not the religious aspect.
Okay. Well, that's tip. Well, I feel better.
Yeah. No.
So do you need church? Why do you need the church? Why do you feel like that is an important part?
Community. Yes. Because that's where you build each other. You see people, you be a part of their life. Just like, okay, if you have a bad deal going on, or if your deal is crashing down, you call me or you call Nadia, because you have that family or community where you can talk about these things. Right now, we're just talking about our lives.
Well, it's funny because the first thing I do is I'm like, please, God, help me, with this situation.
You're always asking for God's help.
I'm always asking for God's help.
Exactly.
I'm always saying, inshallah. In my time of need. But I feel like I'm not, like, I don't practice it as much as I need to be. I don't, I'm not as present when it comes to just like, acknowledging God.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or I feel like bad. I'm like a bad person. No, don't feel bad.
No,
so I feel like I've kind of done some circles. Okay.
Right.
And right now I'm coming right back around to where, like, I would go to Juma, on Friday. And when I pray, I ask for all the things. And I love listening to khutbahs. And sometimes I don't pray 5 times a day. But when I can, if I know that it's like, I hear the adhan. And you know what's crazy? My little son has the adhan times on his phone. And sometimes when the prayer time's on his phone, and when I hear the adhan, I'm like, okay, you know what? Come on, Ryan, let's go, Mom, Baba, let's go pray.
Yeah.
So we actually have this bonding time. We pray, and then I make my children tell me what it is that they're grateful for, what they want to pray for.
Yeah.
And that's our bonding.
Yeah.
And I love hearing them talk about everything from like wanting to go to Cancun.
Right.
And to, is that their prayers? Yeah, their prayers. The cutest thing ever. And hopefully the contract on Dripping Springs closes.
Oh my God. So cute.
They know my real
So
estate.
cute.
Like, what's happening? Like,
So
you know,
it's
this
kind of
stress.
like exactly what you're talking about. A lot of people, and especially in this country, their work is is what they worship.
Exactly.
It is the reason for their being.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's all they think about. It's like they worship their work.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I feel like it's kind of backwards.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You
No.
tell us.
No, 100%. That's what I told. When I moved here, I was so surprised to see how people, I mean, yes, I hustle.
Yeah.
Everyone hustles, everyone works hard, but do not prioritize job or whatever career that you're in over your family and over your or the religious perspective or relationship with God. Because if you prioritize that, you will not have the wisdom that God wants to give you to do that job.
100%.
Because you have to have God's wisdom. Because yeah, you can rely on your wisdom, but that can be a lot
get you
work.
too far.
Exactly, exactly. So that's what we practice in our family too. We ask God's wisdom. I mean, He's not coming in and telling us, okay, go to this client or go. No, He's not doing that. But He'll give you wisdom which way to go or what to do with your client or what's happening. So this is something that I want to teach my kids to. Do not go to God for just prayer requests.
Yeah.
He's not someone sitting up there just to hear our prayer requests. He wants a relationship with us. That's what I preach at my church too. He doesn't want a prayer relationship. He wants a relationship, just a love relationship with you. He wants to know what you're going through. He wants to know what your business is going through. He wants to know what your family is going through. You just have to have a conversation with God. So I don't, as you said, I don't sit and pray every day for hours and hours, but
Yeah.
I talk to God when I drive
Yeah.
or when I'm doing to stuff. I was like, okay, God, this is what happened. This is. I just have that constant communication.
I think that makes it far more approachable for me
Exactly.
to know that it's okay. And I think that's probably the beauty of Islam, is taking that time out, right?
Right.
And again, being purposeful in what
Yeah.
you're doing. But also, I've always had just a much more casual relationship. And is it okay to have a very casual relationship?
I've been having casual.
Absolutely can.
Absolutely.
I ask for God. I do the same thing. I have a very unique relationship. I know that God loves me. I tell my children that all the time. I'm like, Allah loves you.
Yeah.
God loves you. You don't have to just ask for everything.
Right.
You just know that He's watching and He's always there.
Yeah.
And if you need anything or if you want to talk to Him, you can talk to Him anytime. It
Right.
doesn't have to be only at a specific time.
I mean, I don't want to make this a super
Religious conversation.
I mean, honestly, for a while there, for me, I was like, is this really, this doesn't make sense. I mean, what about evolution? How does that, this isn't adding up. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I've read the Bible and I've read the Torah and I've even studied Buddhism for a little while.
Right.
So I've dabbled,
Yeah.
in all of it, read the Quran. And so for a while, I was not, sure. I feel like now as I've gotten older,
Yeah.
and it's fun,
You get older.
yeah, it's like, and I have children. I feel like it's super important to give your children some sort of religious anchor.
Right.
Yeah. And then let them figure it out, after that.
Exactly. So if you put God first, again, coming back to that, if you put God first, your kids will know somehow, just as I said, as you grow older, you will have that wisdom or the realization of there is a God.
Yeah.
You get in the relationship because you asked for God's wisdom or your parents prayed for you God's wisdom over your family or over you. So as you grow older, you will realize that there's a God, you will have the relationship with them. So even with your kids, just tell them to have a relationship with God. And as they grow older, you don't have to teach them religion. You don't have to teach them about God. They will know.
And now let's talk about this religion or spirituality, whatever you want to call it, in real estate. Obviously, there's the importance of, the sense of community and that aspect of it helping your business.
Right.
Because now you're part of the, you're meeting people and you're out there, which is super, super important in real estate. But also just like as an entrepreneur, we don't really have a guidebook, right? That tells us these are the answers, a manual that tells us this is how you operate in real estate, right? You are figuring things out as you go.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of conversations with God. Right? You're constantly having conversations with God. It's not like your 9 to 5 where it's like, okay, I know that I have to write these emails. This is the process. This is what I do. We're just kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
So how does your faith help you in real estate?
Real estate? Yeah. So I can totally tell you the story that because when I joined real estate, first 2 years was hard, just as all the real estate agents. It's so hard because I had to build my business. There was no one reaching out to me. So I actually asked God to give me wisdom to what to do with my real estate. And guess what? I had an idea of drone videography. I've never drawn. I mean, I'd never drawn.
God planted that in your mind.
Yeah. I just got an idea, creative idea. Again, he didn't come and tell me to buy a drone. It's not that. You'll get an idea because I was in media in India as well. I mean, when I was in church, I had media team with me, but I never thought of having a drone and showing the community, the clients. That idea, I believe, came from God. God gave me that idea. So I asked God for wisdom how I should turn my business or how should I be creative.
Yeah.
That's how I built my business. I had
Differentiating factors.
exactly because there's a ton of agents in Dallas, and how can you be different amongst all these people? So I asked God, and I'm asking God, like, what other creative things that I can do? So He gives me ideas. So I use those ideas to implement in business, and I've seen results. Yeah.
How about the fact that we actually have to have this comprehensive knowledge of different religions, and our niche has been, people who are Vastu certified?
No, I'm not. Oh my God, don't even. It's crazy, but I know about Vastu.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
There are certain things, for example, I'm just going to name a few things that we have had experience in, and other agents have, but I feel like we've had more experience than most agents. And a lot of our colleagues come to us because we have this knowledge.
Because they're painting us with a brown brush.
Yeah. Well, they'll call me and they're like,
You should know what.
They're like, I have a client. His name is Omid. I'm like, that's probably Afghan or Persian, but and I'll take it.
Yes.
It's funny because you had to do this ceremony at a house at 3.
Oh my God, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit? And we're going to go right back to that. But yes, having Islamic financing knowledge, having Vastu knowledge, knowing what certain directions, even as Muslims who are a certain sect that want certain things, the fact that we have all these little,
Or to be within a certain vicinity of a certain church.
Right.
Understanding what's important to them. That's something that we all possess, including Eleni, who's not here with us, but she's out at a property and got locked out, and she's story. Anyways, tell us about that night and what happened. And
it's so crazy. I come from India, and Vastu. There's a lot of people in India who follow Vastu, and I didn't have.
What is Vastu?
Vastu is about what do you call it? It's like about direction of the house, about how the bedroom should be located.
Feng shui.
Exactly.
And
So
steps, the pada has to be like a certain.
Yeah, it should not face T Street, or there's a lot of things that.
The kitchen has to be a certain.
In the southeast corner or something. There's a lot of things. I had no idea when I moved here. Right, I came from India. Like,
you had no idea.
I had no idea. So when I moved here, I got these clients, and I respect them. Yeah, as I said, it's their religious perspective. It's because to keep their family happy. I understand. I totally agree with you guys. Whatever you are happy, I'm happy.
Yeah,
that's in real estate, right? So these guys want the south-facing houses or north-facing houses or east-facing, whatever. So it was completely brand new to me. So I started learning about this from my clients or what they're exactly looking for. And it depends on each client and their beliefs.
Yeah.
And even from each state in India, it's different. Some states like south facing, some states doesn't like south facing. So I'm still learning.
Southwest or southeast, it's okay, but it can't be southwest.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm still learning. But this client, they wanted to do a ceremony at their new house, and the pujari or the priest was coming from India, and he had to leave at 10 o'clock or something, or they had a exactly. They flew him here to do the ceremony. And he only had one spot available, according to the religious perspective. That was at 3 a.m. in the morning or 4 a.m. in the morning. And that was all the way in Mansfield.
Yeah.
So I didn't want my client to be there by themselves at 4 o'clock in the morning with the priest. I drove there to be with them just to make sure that they're good and they're happy, and there's literally no one, because it's a construction zone.
Weren't you not even closed on the property yet?
No. Can we even release it?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
But no one doesn't go. It's a You don't know what property's gonna know.
Okay, so go ahead.
So I was there. They had the pujari, the priest, the client dressed up in their Indian attire. If someone saw it, they would have canceled the contract.
Yeah.
And that'd be a nightmare.
We're doing the ceremony in the house?
In the house before the closing.
Oh my God.
Okay, so technically you broke in the house.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you trespass.
You trespass.
Have you even posted?
Yes, you can't
Don't
post this.
condone such behavior.
I know. It was not supposed to. Yeah.
But listen,
Do not practice this.
Did it happen? Did you close?
Yeah, we closed.
No one.
They're happy. They're
Guarantee the builder would probably endorse this and be like, you know what?
good
Can you
job.
please sell with the rest of the community in Mansfield?
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I went there again, it was a 1.5 hour drive from where I live. The reason why I went there, I wanted to respect their faith,
Yes, eh?
whatever they had. I wanted to tell them that I'm a pastor, I'm a Christian, I'm not from your religion or whatever, but I still respect you for who you are, and I'll be there because that's a realistic perspective. It doesn't matter what religion you are because we don't discriminate according to religion or whatever faith you are. I wanted to support them. I wanted to help them and make sure that they're good. That was crazy.
And I had a client. She was such a sweetheart. Okay, she was a NFL player's former wife. And like she was just super bouge country, beautiful. Okay, elder woman. She would call me before we poured foundation from her new construction home, and she'd be like, "Nadia, I got to put a Bible under there, honey. I got to put my Bible under that foundation. So you better let me know." And she would literally keep calling me every 2 days.
Really?
Yes. She was like, "I want to know, is it ready? Can I put my Bible under that house?" And fine, I will never forget the day. And I went with her, and before they poured, we stood outside. She put her Bible underneath the house, and they poured.
So there's a Bible underneath that foundation. You know,
I know exactly what I'm talking about, right? She's such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is that. And then I have my first build job that I've ever done, ground up, big, beautiful house. My clients were like, before we poured this foundation, there was some water that they had from the religious, and they wanted to pour the water and say a prayer. So they brought the entire family. We brought a little video crew. And before they started pouring, it was early in the morning. We all drove out there, and they all held up the pot of the water, and they poured the water and everything. It was really beautiful.
It's beautiful.
So there's, I feel like it's just, it doesn't matter what religion,
Right.
how, your home is so important.
Right.
God is so important.
Absolutely.
And, what we do and what we do with our job is just, it all goes hand in hand.
Exactly.
So the fact that you say, put God first, I really love that.
Yeah.
And I think that it's beautiful, and it's exactly why God has blessed you.
Absolutely.
And I hope, inshallah, he continues to bless you.
To that.
And we will all.
And it's funny, we all say inshallah on our chat. Gloria says inshallah. Say inshallah.
It just means God will.
Exactly.
Right? God
Right.
wills it. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it's a great synergy. It's a good mix of cultures.
The diversity is amazing. It's fun learning about all of these different religions.
Yeah. And we're still learning.
Yeah.
It never stops. There's a lot to learn.